Have you done everything that you needed to do to get your home sold only to find that you're unable to generate buyer interest? Well, we've got some tips for you to consider to go from for sale to sold. Stay tuned. So you've done everything that you've been asked or told to do by your realtor, only to have your property still on the market, unable to generate buyer interest. So what can you do to go from for sale to sold? Well, I'm going to share a couple of tips, and many of them aren't that difficult for you to implement or change right away. The first thing is going to be to do those obvious things, to just go back and reevaluate your property with a fresh set of eyes, going through. And if you have not already done so, we want to make sure that we declutter, that we come through and we depersonalize the property, making sure that we take down those family photos or those things that have our or your personality in them. We also want to make sure that there are any flaws that we had, that we've repaired those, whether it is the door jamb or the handle that wiggles just a little bit. And more than anything, we do want to have your home professionally cleaned. Now you're going to say, Neil, there's nothing going on in my home. I don't need a professional cleaner. Well, have you seen those garbage bag commercials where we can go nose blind to some things? The same thing happens to you and me as homeowners and sellers. We can become nose blind to a lot of sense, especially if, you guessed it, if you have pets. So I have 2 dogs, so I'm always making sure that we are professionally cleaning our home, just to make sure that, we're not nose blind, and it feels good to have a fresh and clean scent in the home when wife and I come in. So make sure that if you haven't done those few obvious things, that you want to consider that. The next tip that I would offer to you, if you have not been able to generate that buyer interest that you're looking for, is to consider reusing the space that you currently have. Maybe you want to go in and shift the furniture around. Maybe we could break up the living room that right now is an open floor plan. Maybe we could just do a little bit different with the staging. This does not mean that you have to bring in a new stager to the property. That just means that we're just going to reuse and remove some things that we already have in the place. Now, I'm making the assumption that you do have buyers or buyers agents visiting your property and getting views of the home, and just not pulling the trigger to make an offer. If they have not even shown interest in getting into the property, we'll talk about that tip a little bit later. So now that we have done the obvious items, we've restaged, or we have come in and broken up the home in different ways, maybe another tip that you could do would be to add a pop of color, and just add some fun, some lively energy into your home. Now, this does not mean that we have to go through and add accent walls or anything crazy like that. Have you considered adding a few pops of color with the throw pillows, or maybe a rug or curtains or a duvet cover or something of the such in the home, to give buyers that different feel, that fresh feel when they're going in? It goes without saying that a buyer's first impression of your property when they pull up, or now when they see it in that video, is going to be a lasting impression. So we want to boost that curb appeal. So this could be something as simple as adding some mulch, making sure that the lawn is well manicured and taken care of. We could add some colorful seasonal flowers to the front of the home, or maybe cleaning the front door or painting that front door is going to go a very long way when we boost that curb appeal. Now that we've gone through, we've professionally cleaned the place, we have thought about restaging and breaking up the home for a look and a different feel. We've added pops of color. We have come through and boosted our curb appeal. What am I going to ask you or suggest a tip that you take right now? That is going to be update your photos. Yes, so many of our buyers right now, we are visual creatures. We want to see something new and different. So even if you just change the order of the photos that you're using, update your photos, you might be surprised at the interest that is generated simply because now the first photo that I see syndicated on many sites is no longer the exterior. Maybe it's that touched up paint or just the redesigned, reused space that is in the living room or the home office. So just consider that. While a picture might be worth 1,000 words, we do need to think about the copy or the description that we're using. So have you considered, or your realtor considered, changing the description instead of using the basic cookie cutter realtor description? 3-2 single family home with garage, perfect for blah, 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 blah. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And if that's your description, I'm going to ask you, give me a call. We can spice things up a bit. Have you considered, changing up the description for your home description, for the copy that's written to read like a dating ad or a dating profile? I am a 1962 historic home. I'm looking for a new homeowner who enjoys waterfront living and close walks to. You got what I'm saying? Okay, that's the type. So maybe just changing up your description. Now, unfortunately, if you've gone through all of that and your home is still on the market, what's my final tip to you? It's going to be to reconsider the positioning of your home on the market. And when I say positioning, that is a professional, kinder way of saying, look at the price where your property is being offered to the market. The market has told you, in effect, if everything else looks good, feels good, but you are not getting offers, we must consider the price and a repositioning of this price. Or we need to have a conversation and come up with some logic for a defensible value. So if you are unsure or unaware of what a defensible value is for your property, I would love to have that conversation with you. So these tips, which ones do you need to do to go from for sale to sold? Make sure that you have that conversation with your partner, your significant other, or your agent to go ahead and go from for sale to sold. Or reach out to me, Neil Oates Jr. at World Renowned Real Estate. I am absolutely sure that we can help you exceed your real estate needs. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, make sure that you hit the bell icon so that you get the most relevant, accurate information right here first. Leave a comment. Let me know which is your favorite tip, which one you're going to have to use on the sale of your home right now. I look forward to hearing from you. Until the next time I see you or you see me, don't be average, be world renowned. Take care.